Welcome back to Women's Wealth, The Middle Way, the show that answers your questions about work, money, and family. My name is Susan McGlory Michael, and I am the CEO and founder of Glen Eagle, a wealth management firm in New Jersey. Our guest today is Kara Shovlin. Kara is the owner, with her husband, of Shovlin Mattress Factory, and she is also a certified positive psychology practitioner. Welcome, Kara.
Thank you, Susan. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
I've known you for so many years, and I've watched in awe of your ambition and your energy in exploring your career. I'd love you to share with our listeners, the other women that are listening today, about your background when you started to get interested in the positive kind of psychology type of world.
My educational background is in psychology. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology and a master's degree in sports psychology. But what I did for a living after college was dance. I was a performer and a teacher for a bunch of years until we had our children. And then I transitioned into fitness, being that I was the primary caregiver for our two boys. Being able to teach an hour or two a day was really a great fit for me. And I did that for about 15 years. And along the way, as my husband began to take over the family business, I came in and I helped him by wearing a couple of the many hats that all entrepreneurs must wear. Most notably, I handled the social media, branding, content creation stuff, basically the marketing hat, which was really a lot of fun. And then most recently, I've kind of jumped back into my education and done some follow-up work to my master's degree in the area of mindset and human performance. I completed a health coach training program and became a national board certified health and wellness coach, and I've been doing health and mindset coaching for the last couple of years. And then finally, I completed a certificate in positive psychology as well as in positive psychology consulting and coaching, which has led me to start getting into some work around workplace wellness and culture, which is super interesting to me.
I'm in awe of all this because I know that for so many years, you and your husband have built this huge successful business, and you really have a passion and it's grown. But on top of that, in addition, I don't know where you get the energy. I don't know if you sleep, but what role has your involvement played in that growth? Because you are so in tune to positive psychology. And here this is a kind of a growing, booming business. I mean, I know everyone I know owns your mattresses because they're not just the generic mattresses. You have the factory, you really take pride, you're second generation. There's so many aspects to how this business has grown. I'd be intrigued because you have, on top of working there and doing all that, you've been able to pursue this passion. And how has that played a role in your business?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I think a couple of things come to mind. It's funny that you question whether or not I sleep, right? That's the business that we're in. So what we do is manufacture and retail our own brand of high-end mattresses. So we're in the business of sleep. And while I was wearing my marketing hat, I think one of the things that we got real clear on was the importance of focusing on solving our customers' problems rather than selling our products, as awesome as we think they are. So our customers were coming in because they had a need around sleep, whether it was simply like time for a new bed because they had moved into a bigger house, or their sleep was suffering because they needed something better suited to them, or whatever. Whatever the issue was, the answer was pretty much always sleep. At any rate, it ended up requiring me to do a lot of research on sleep and its importance to our overall health and well-being, which cannot be overstated, I will say. And being that I was already in the field of fitness, it was adjacent to what I was already interested in and learning about in my job, but sparked a deeper curiosity in me about human performance and human flourishing and wellness and et cetera.
I just finished a book on sleep, so I'm just reiterating. I was on the beach reading it and actually getting anxious on the beach if that's possible, because it is so powerful, the lack of sleep, the implications it can have on health and the brain. So I agree with you. It's ironic that I just finished a book on the power of.
Yeah, serendipitous, I think. Yes.
Yeah.
It is remarkable how impactful it is. And when you don't get enough of it, how much it can negatively impact your health. It's remarkable. The other thing that stood out for me was this idea of workplace culture. So we think we have a really great culture in our business. Most of our employees have been there for a really long time, some of them for many decades even. So I feel like we're always trying to learn and grow, and we do things like utilizing business coaches, and we make them available to our employees. We encourage a mindset of ownership and teamwork and respect. Our employees' goals are important to us, and we value their work-life balance as much as we value our own. And so with all this, you might think, well, then maybe our customers aren't high enough of a priority to us, but actually it's quite the opposite. I think as a result of our culture, customers are everyone's top priority in our business, and we have a wide reputation of exceeding expectations in all areas, from the experience in the store to the delivery process and everything in between. And I really believe that these two things go hand in hand. And I've learned that creating a great culture can be a challenge for many businesses over the years. My role there has stoked a curiosity and a passion for both personal wellness and workplace wellness, which again, I feel like they go hand in hand.
It's amazing because in all business, you hear about the process, you hear about cash flow, you hear about employees, but you are so dead on that creating that great culture, and your professional certifications in the personal wellness for both the professional and the individual is so critical now, especially with us having gone through COVID, and especially with new businesses reevaluating what does the new rhythm look like in the future. So it can't be more timely when what we're coming away from. Yes, we do need process, and we do need cash flow, and we do need employees to be happy, but there's a far greater thing that I think for so many years we weren't cognizant of and we didn't pay enough attention to. And I do think even the way your business has grown, I think is definitely reflective of the way you have both approached it. But I always, when we're doing these interviews, I always ask the person that's on, and I have admired you for so many years, probably because of your energy and all you've accomplished. But there are so many women that are in a job now, or they're contemplating what they want to do. I would love you to share advice for them. If they're thinking about switching careers, how do they go about that? How do they start that? Some of them are single moms. Some of us are getting older and we say, I've been doing this for so long, I probably shouldn't start something new. But what advice would you give them as a certified positive psychology practitioner in how they would approach that?
Transition. Yeah. I feel like we live life in transition. And so we make it this big scary thing, but we're in it all the time, especially now in this post-COVID world. It seems like we're in a constant state of flux. Things are always changing. So when it comes to work, like these days, the average American changes jobs every 3 to 4 years and changes careers 5 to 7 times in their life. And I know that number is an average, will differ probably greatly from baby boomers down to Gen Yers. I know my dad worked at the same company for 30 plus years, but I think the general trend is this more fluid approach to work. And I think one big question to ask as you go into a transition is, what kind of lifestyle do you want? So before I used the term work-life balance before, and that used to be a really big buzzword, but now I think it's more of an expectation for people. And I'm always about following your curiosity and your intuition, whether it's a full-blown career change or adding a side hustle or even just a hobby to start and grow from there, whatever's comfortable to you. I think it's important to remember that whatever it is that's calling to you, it wants you too. It wants your unique fingerprint of experiences and perspectives. So taking the next right step is, I think, the first thing to do. And what's great today is that education that is remote is now more the norm than the exception. Like, change is so much more accessible to us now, I think, than ever before. So I think I'm always a yes. We only have so much time here. So I say totally go for it. Do all the things, at least all the things that speak to you. But again, I think the next right step.
Well, I actually think you have walked the walk. I know why businesses seek your expertise in that positive kind of psychology of coming in and helping them get past the mundane things that they need to grow, because there's so much more. And you are an inspiration because you have walked the walk and lived it. You have actually done it. So I can't thank you enough for joining us today. And I wish you the best of luck. What a gift to be able to handle all that you do every day. So thank you, Kara.
Thank you, Susan. It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for tuning into today's episode of Women's Wealth, The Middle Way. Make sure to subscribe to us and leave a review on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, or your favorite podcast app. Join us for new episodes every other Wednesday. See you in 2 weeks.